Hello, and welcome to the Katz Conversations, our monthly series of where we take a deeper dive to learn more about our Katz Institute for Women's Health experts. My name is Sharon Zarabi Fern, and today I have the pleasure of meeting with Dr. Randi Goldman, a reproductive endocrinologist and infertility specialist. We just celebrated in the month of June Infertility Awareness Month, so we are so honored to have you here with us. Please share just a little introduction about yourself.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me here. I'm Randi. I am a reproductive endocrinology and infertility doc by training. I've been here at Northwell for over 5 years, between 5 and 6. Did my training in Massachusetts, moved here in the summer of 2018, and am very lucky to be the program director of our incredible REI fellowship here. And, love taking care of patients, love what I do.
That's great. Well, I have to say, as an older woman who just gave birth to a beautiful baby girl, this is a very personal subject for me. And I just want to say thank you on behalf of many women in my circle of friends. It's, superheroes like you that really give us another chapter of our lives to actually fulfill. So can you just share in your own words, like what you feel is the most rewarding part of your career and your life?
Oh yeah. I feel honored to do what I do every day and very privileged to be in a position where I can help people to achieve their dreams of parenthood. And for me, that's a very special thing. People let me into their lives at a time where very often they've been struggling, and they allow me to be a part of their journey to help them reach their goals. And to me, there's no greater pride I feel when I'm able to, help people get to where they want to be. And so for me, this is my dream job. I wake up every day very, very thankful that I get to make a difference in the lives of the people in the communities that I serve. And I'm the one who feels very lucky in that.
So I can only imagine, as a physician who deals with women and seeing just so many stories that can be bittersweet, some can be very stressful. How do you maintain physical, mental well-being in your own personal life?
Yeah, that's a great question. I definitely am guilty of sometimes, kind of bringing work home. I get very attached to my patients and their families and their stories. And, I want everybody to, have success on the very first try. And we know that unfortunately that is not always the case. And so there are definitely days where, I was really hoping that something would work for somebody and it didn't, and I get a little sad about it. And so the things that I like to do are I like to, go for walks. I like to exercise. I love to listen to music. I'm a huge Broadway fan, an a cappella music fan. I spend time with my family. I've got an amazing 6-year-old and an amazing 3-year-old, and I love spending time with them. And those are the things that I think help to keep me sort of grounded and thinking about, the things that I can and can't control, and just help to improve my own well-being, because I think that that's really important for me to take the best care of my patients as well.
Yeah, no, I love that. I mean, I think you said, taking walks, spending time with family. So it's connecting with different, with the outside nature, with our social circle. So I think a lot of viewers can take something from that.
Yeah.
And so outside of medicine, what's another passion of yours?
I am a huge theater fan. I'm not, an actress by any means, or an actor. But I love listening to music. I love Broadway. I love like live theater. I think there's something so special about it, where you can really see, people's hard work coming together to put on a show for people. I really like a cappella music. I was in an a cappella group, which my closest friends to this day are people that I sang with. Those are some of my kind of big passions, I'd say. And I love to travel. I love to experience new things, learn about different cultures, sort of just experience the world when I can. And yeah, those are the things that I really, really love doing, totally outside of medicine. And I also think that that helps me to connect to other people too, people who enjoy similar experiences. And it's amazing how many people in medicine really, really love music. I found that to be a very common theme.
Yeah, well, theater, concerts, again, another aspect of being social
Yeah.
outside of the office. Do you have a personal favorite Broadway show that you like? I mean, living in New York, you have easy
Yeah.
access
Oh,
to.
goodness. I really love Rent, that show Rent, which came out a long time ago, not on anymore, but that was, I think, one of my earlier exposures to kind of the rock opera type genre of Broadway.
Mhm.
I love Hamilton. My 6-year-old actually saw Hamilton, sat through the whole thing, knows every word. It's kind of amazing to see this like 6-year-old try to rap. It's comical, but very cute. I love those shows. The most recent show that I saw was Six, about the wives of Henry VIII. It was awesome. It was this sort of powerhouse of like 6 women who were all the lead. It was amazing to see. Normally, when you see a show, like one person will sort of be the obvious sort of lead of the show. This was a show with 6 women who all could have been the lead. It was really fun and really cool to see.
So do you actually enjoy the theater aspect, or do you have these like downloaded soundtracks of theaters on one of your like music
A
playlists,
little bit of
jamming in the
both.
car?
A little bit of both. I definitely love going to the show and seeing it live, and then I'll usually like get the album on iTunes or Spotify or Apple Music, and then listen to it in the car on the way to work and try to sing it maybe okay in the car. Yeah, I love seeing it live. There was, during COVID when we couldn't see shows, kind of took a little bit of a hiatus from going live, but I try to go when I can, not all the time, but we're so lucky that we're so close to Broadway into New York that it's one of the ways that I like to spend some free time.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And so you said that you don't sing yourself, but you were in an a cappella group. So if you didn't pursue medicine,
Mhm.
what else would you have been doing?
I, I don't think I'd be a very good actor, but I do love singing. I think I would probably need to be a little bit better at it to have a career in it, just
Okay.
honestly, but I love it. I think I'd probably be a teacher. I love teaching. I have a lot of teaching roles now as well. I'm the program director for our fellowship program, which means that a lot of my days are spent teaching medical learners who want to be fertility doctors themselves or OBGYN residents and medical students. And it brings me a lot of joy to see them reach their goals as well academically and try to, help people down their paths toward whatever it is they're going to end up doing in their career. And it really is a huge part of my day. In addition to, I do a lot of medical research as well and sort of teach them that process of, how to ask a question, how to answer a question medically. And so I think if I wasn't a physician, I'd probably have a teaching role in something. I really like the creativity that comes with being a teacher as well and figuring out how to reach people, how everybody learns differently. And there's lots of different ways to get to one answer. And so I like the creativity of sort of figuring out how to help somebody reach their goals.
What is one pearl of wisdom that you would give your medical students who would be pursuing this specialty specifically?
That's a great question. I think that this field in particular is one that is very, very quick moving. The oldest person in the world to be born via IVF is in her mid 40s, so our field is very new compared to a lot of the other fields. And so I think that one of the best pieces of advice that I had gotten that I would give to somebody else is to know that you really want to be on the forefront of something special. And it takes a lot of work to get there, to be a really, really great reproductive endocrinology and infertility doctor. It's important to sort of stay up to date with how quickly our field is moving and all the new technologies. But at the same time, not get bogged down in things that might be sort of popular right now, but maybe not beneficial long term. And I think in our field in particular, people that want to have a baby and are struggling are generally willing to do anything. You could say, go over there and stand on your head for an hour, and they would do it because maybe if it even potentially could help. But the reality is that there's a lot of things in our field that haven't been proven. And being able to think critically is really important. So for somebody who's coming in new to the field, I would say you got to really be able to think critically, read, ask the important questions, do the research so that we're able to guide patients toward what's evidence-based. Because there's a whole lot that unfortunately is not as evidence-based. So I think critical thinkers and people that know how to ask and answer a question are the people that are best suited for REI.
Not just about textbooks or medical school, it's learning from your patients, and it's keeping up to date with all of the new and emerging research that's coming out.
Yeah. And you have to, this is a field where we are helping people deal with what is usually and very oftentimes the most important thing in their lives at the time. And how special that is for us to be a part of that, number one, but also to recognize that even though we do this every day, for an individual or a couple sitting in front of you, this is their most important thing. And so whenever there's communication, whether it's good news or bad news, it has to come from a place of compassion, right? You have to be able to teach your patients why you're making certain decisions. I think that those are qualities that if there's a person who's thinking about doing REI, do you have these qualities? Hopefully, yes. Are ways where they can become successful in it, because it's impossible to do this field without considering the emotional aspect. It's impossible to do it well.
Yeah, I think you said it so well. It's very special, and again, I thank you on behalf of the Katz Institute for Women's Health. I'm sure all of our viewers. It's a very unique skill to have to work with this population. And, we usually finish off with these rapid fire questions, but I think I learned so much about you personally. You wiped out half my questions. So I'm going to throw a few things at you.
Sure.
The first answer that comes to mind, there's no right or wrong. But yeah, so let's start with, what's your favorite food?
Sushi.
Okay. Any specific roll or fish?
I really like just good salmon sushi. Like great salmon sushi doesn't have to be fancy. Just salmon sushi, if it's good, is probably, if I had to pick like the single thing to eat like for the rest of my life, I'd probably pick that.
Okay, good. One of my favorite foods too, so I like that answer. Beach or mountains?
Beach.
Okay. Vanilla or chocolate?
Chocolate.
Getting back to your music, DJ or band?
Band. I feel like I've been picking every second answer, but band, it's real.
No, again, all good answers. So this was a lovely conversation. Thank you so much for coming on, sharing with us your personal passions, a little bit of your patient interactions. Before we conclude, do you have any other words that you'd like to share with our viewers?
Well, I'm honestly so honored that you asked me to come on today and speak. I so appreciate the Katz Institute for what it does for women's health, especially in a world where women's health is very often not on the forefront of people's minds, especially when it comes to research and articles that comes out. I think that this is so important for anybody who is thinking about having a baby. Always a good idea to talk to your doctor, talk to your GYN about what your family goals are. You don't have to know, I want to have a baby 2 years and a month from now, but even if you're thinking about it, I think learning about fertility, learning about what it is to try to have a baby is a really powerful thing, especially when a lot of our lives we're taught how to not get pregnant. We don't often think about the struggles that people can have when they do try. And so just, feel free to open up that conversation, dialogue with a trusted doctor so that you can kind of think about where you want to be in 5-10 years.
spoken like a true professor.
All right. Well, thank you again for sharing your expertise and passions and all. And thank you all to our viewers for tuning in. We hope to see you next month.